Are you planning a trip to Alaska, whether it be on a cruise or on an RV or just flying into Anchorage, renting a car? So what I wanted to do today is just share with you some things that you might forget or might not know that you need when you're traveling to Alaska. So this will be my 7th trip, and we are actually packing up today to go on a 2-week RV trip to Alaska. We are going to fly into Anchorage. So we're going to head north all the way to Fairbanks and then all the way to Valdez, head back to Anchorage, and then go south to Homer Spit. So I just wanted to share some things with you that I'll be packing. So I was getting all my things together, and I thought I will do my pack with me video for you guys. I always like to do these when we're going on our trips, but then I thought I would do it a little bit differently this time because I know I usually show you all of my outfits and things like that, but then I also do another video where I just show you everything I wear from head to toe, and I'll be doing that one as well. So I do want to just tell you I'm going to have a whole series of videos for this Alaska trip, which we're so super excited about. So what I wanted to do in this video today, instead of just showing you everything that I'll be packing in my suitcase and actually showing you how it's packed, I just wanted to tell you some essentials that I'll be packing along with me, which are some things that you're going to need when you're in Alaska. So whether it be a cruise or anything else, these are some things that you're going to want to take with you. So it does rain quite a bit in Alaska. I have been to Alaska 6 different times. 4 have been on a cruise, 2 we have flown into Anchorage, and it's always gonna rain at some point in time. You might get lucky with those really beautiful days. So you're gonna need some rain gear. So one of the first recommendations I have are some waterproof shoes. These I actually just picked up recently for this trip. I had previously worn some different shoes, which were a little bit higher, but because we are going to be walking on a glacier, I just wanted to make sure I had something that had some really good tread and was waterproof and looked very stylish at the same time. These are great because they have this grip on the bottom. So definitely waterproof shoes are something that you're going to need to take with you because it is going to rain. A lot of times when you're on the cruises, most of that area is in a rainforest. So you're definitely going to have to be prepared for the rain. And that being said, you're going to need some kind of rain jacket. So I actually just picked this one up recently from Amazon, and I liked it because it can pack in this little pouch right here. So it's going to save a lot of space because when you're packing for Alaska, especially like as we were packing for 2 weeks, your clothes are a little bit heavier and bigger. So you're definitely going to want to save as much space as you can. So I wanted to get one that would pack into a little small pouch. This is a little bit thinner, but it's definitely a water resistant and it's beautiful, and it comes in a lot of other colors. And so a lot of these things I can link in the description box for you guys because they're still available. Some of these things are not, like the waterproof shoes that I just shared with you. I did pick those up at a clearance store, so those might not be available, but if I can find them somewhere, I will link those as well. But I love this jacket because it's nice and lightweight and it's packable. But on the other hand, I did want to get something a little bit warmer. So this is another jacket. It's from Bernardo. It's also one that you can pack within itself in a pouch. And it has the hood. The hood has a really nice fleece on the inside. So this one I think is going to be a little bit warmer. So I just wanted to bring both of these. Both of these are packable, so they won't take up a lot of space, but this one's going to be a little bit thicker for those cooler days. So the season for Alaska is usually anytime between April to October, mid-October, and I have been every month except July. This time we'll be going at the end of July, but I have noticed that the temperatures are not as cold as some people think they are, but then when you do get wet, it can get a little bit cooler. We're going from the end of July to the middle of August, and during that time, the temperatures where we're going to be are going to be highs of 74, and I think the lowest it's going to get is in Valdez, and that's going to be 48 during the night. There's a little bit of an extreme between your high temperature and your low temperature, so I always suggest to start with layers. So I will always have some kind of short sleeve layer under a longer sleeve layer, and then have that jacket available, and you can always just shed layers if you need to, and that's what we have always done. We have also been in September, which I expected to be a little bit cooler, but I was really surprised that some days we were able to actually wear t-shirts during that day. So I cannot stress enough layers. You want to make sure that you are layered so you can accommodate whatever range of temperatures that you're going to have. So you have your waterproof shoes, and then you also have your rain jacket, but you could also use and pack a pair of water resistant or waterproof pants. Now some of those can get really costly if you get those very insulated ones that are waterproof, but these I picked up from Amazon a few years back, and I've actually taken them to Alaska twice, and they have worked out really well. These come in a lot of different colors, and they're kind of a thinner material, but they're definitely good about repelling that water away from you. I also like to have some kind of like thermal or climate controlling undergarments to wear under any of your outfits, just in case you need it for a little bit more warmth. So that's another recommendation that I have. We're actually going to be walking on a glacier, doing a 2-mile hike on a glacier. So I definitely wanted to take these just in case it was cool, because anytime you're around a glacier, expect about a 10-degree temperature difference. So if you're going on a cruise and you're doing a glacier viewing, I would highly recommend the next 2 items that I'm going to share with you, just because of the fact that if you're out on the balcony or any of the areas that you can look at the glacier viewing, you're going to get a little bit chillier. It does get cooler around those glaciers. So you're going to want something that's going to protect your hands. So definitely a pair of gloves. I've got a little bit of a thicker glove. And then I also have these thinner gloves that have the areas for the tech for if I'm taking pictures and things like that. So I have both of these, and then a beanie. Something that's going to protect your head and your ears is definitely something that you're going to need as well. Speaking of glaciers, if you have any kind of an excursion that includes a glacier, or if you're going to be anywhere near a glacier, you're going to want a pair of sunglasses, just because of the fact that that sun reflects off of that snow and that glacier, and it can cause damage to the eye. So you definitely want to make sure that you have sunglasses if you're going to be anywhere near a glacier. So one of the main draws to Alaska is all of the scenery, all of the wildlife. So I highly recommend getting a pair of travel binoculars. We picked up a couple of binoculars for my kids a couple of years back from Amazon. They're nice, they're travel friendly because they come in a small compact case, and these are really good. People don't realize how useful binoculars will be, especially when you're on a cruise. We left Ketchikan and we literally had orca whales right beside the wake when the ship was leaving, and we were able to see that off of our balcony. So it was really great that we had those binoculars to be able to experience that and see those up close. So there's 3 bags that I'm actually going to be taking with me just for variety. So I do have a belt bag. I think this is really useful to have if you just want to carry around some necessities and you're just walking around port, or if you're walking around the small town, then a belt bag would be something that would be convenient for you to have just for your necessities. I'm also taking a neutral crossbody bag. So my strap is actually inside of this, but I think that a crossbody is really good to have in case you need a little bit more than what your belt bag or your sling bag could carry. And then 1000% a packable backpack. I like to take these all the time. If I'm on a cruise, just any kind of cruise, I like to have these because they pack really nicely, but they pack within themselves. And let me just show you this backpack, how big it gets. So it's in this little small pouch. And then when you undo it, that pouch that it's folded itself into will be another pocket for you. It's got these external pockets, padded backpack straps, carrying handle, and then a big spacious area. So this is great for if you are hiking or doing anything like that and it's raining when you begin and then it stops raining. You might want to put your rain jackets in this, or if you want to carry your water bottles around and things like that, then I think a backpack is great. But I do love a packable backpack just because of the fact that it's going to pack up super easy and not take up a lot of space, but you're going to have this in case you need to carry a lot if you're doing hikes or long excursions and things like that. And speaking of water bottles, it may seem super simple, but a water bottle is something you're definitely going to want to have with you. My boys have their swells that they take with them, and then I have this hydro jug that I really like because I like the carrying handle on it, and then it has the flip straw, and it's completely leak proof. So if you're doing an RV trip and driving into Alaska, or if you are flying into Anchorage and driving around, renting a car or something like that, then I think this is really useful to have. Not as useful for people that if they're going to be cruising, this won't help you that much, but the Milepost. So I picked this up a few years back and I wanted to get it updated. They update it every single year. And what this basically is when you're driving, it's got your cities, like it's got Fairbanks and it's got Alaska Highway, the East Access routes and things like that. Southeast Alaska, Seward Highway, Elliott Highway. This has points of interest at all your mile markers. So that's why it's called the Milepost, because at your mile markers, it will show certain points of interest. Something that you might otherwise drive by, but if you've got this and you've got a reference as you're going by certain highways like the Sterling Highway or the Seward Highway, the Turnagain Pass, it's gonna have all of your things that you can look at and see on the way, because everything is so scenic there, and it might just be one of the most beautiful places that you stop at. But I think this is really good. They have the most updated version on Amazon. I can link this down below for you guys, but I did pick up the newest version because I had a version that was a few years old, so I definitely want to get the newest one in case there was anything new that was on there, or if anything had changed and something had closed down, or you couldn't get to some of the different scenic routes or things like that. So definitely wanted to suggest this for if you are driving in Alaska, not cruising, but if you're driving in Alaska, I think this is a very useful tool. Okay, guys, I hope that this was helpful to you guys if you're planning a trip to Alaska. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, please hit that like button. And I would also love to have you consider hitting that subscribe button. Like I stated before, I have lots of content coming up on this Alaska trip. So I would love to have you subscribe. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.